Hello guys. Wild days ahead for Bama? Maybe. Before we dive into the updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more news. Kalen DeBoer's post-Nick Saban era transition poses new threat to Kirby Smart's Georgia Bulldogs? This situation has caught a lot of attention. After all, replacing an icon like Saban, who built an unbeatable dynasty, is no easy task. But as Alabama enters this new phase, all eyes are on the big question: can DeBoer maintain the Tide's dominance, especially against their biggest rivals, Kirby Smart's Georgia Bulldogs? There's no denying that Alabama, under Saban's leadership, was an unstoppable force. Year after year, the Tide proved to be the giant of college football, and the rivalry with Georgia became one of the most anticipated matchups of the season. With Saban at the helm, Alabama bested Georgia on multiple occasions, establishing a hegemony that intimidated even the strongest opponents. Now, with Kalen DeBoer taking over, many are wondering if this tradition of success will continue. DeBoer is no rookie, having left a lasting impression as the head coach of the Washington Huskies, but the SEC is a different battlefield. And in his very first season, he'll have the mission to prove he's up to the challenge, especially in the crucial showdown against Georgia, set for September 28th. Clint Lamb, Alabama football analyst at Cover Crimson, offered an interesting perspective on the August 10th episode of Crane and Company. Lamb suggests that Alabama, under DeBoer's leadership, has a strong chance to defeat Georgia. This confidence isn't unfounded, considering the history of matchups between the teams. However, Lamb also casts a shadow of concern by mentioning that even with a victory over the Bulldogs, Alabama could stumble against Tennessee and LSU. This analysis stirs a mix of hope and apprehension among Alabama fans. On one hand, the prospect of defeating Georgia once again, solidifying dominance over one of their biggest rivals, is an exciting vision. On the other hand, the thought of that triumph being followed by losses to Tennessee and LSU is something no Tide fan wants to consider. Kirby Smart, meanwhile, is in a delicate position. During the Saban era, he struggled to overcome his former mentor, and now he faces a new adversary in DeBoer. Smart's record against Alabama isn't the best, standing at 1-5. However, this new dynamic might be the opportunity he needs to finally turn the tide. Or it could be yet another chapter in the saga where Alabama reaffirms its superiority. The Alabama-Georgia rivalry isn't just about games and titles, it's a battle of pride and legacy. Since their first meeting in 1895, these two college football powerhouses have fought memorable battles. The head-to-head record heavily favors Alabama, which leads with 43 wins to Georgia's 26, along with 4 ties. This statistical dominance is a constant reminder that, despite the changes, Alabama remains a formidable threat. For DeBoer, the challenge isn't just maintaining the tradition of victories but also building his own legacy. A win over Georgia would be a crucial step in that direction, solidifying his position as the new leader of the Tide. But as Lamb pointed out, the real test will be maintaining consistency and avoiding slip-ups that could tarnish this debut. Alabama fans are eager but also cautious. They know the Saban era was unique and irreplaceable, but they also believe DeBoer has what it takes to continue this tradition of success. The 2024 season promises to be a roller coaster of emotions, and the September 28th showdown against Georgia will be one of the defining moments. What's at stake is more than just a win, it's the affirmation that Alabama is still the king of the ring, even after Nick Saban's departure. If DeBoer can lead the Tide to victory against the Bulldogs, he'll not only win the fans' trust but also send a clear message to all opponents: Alabama is still a force to be reckoned with. And Kirby Smart, along with all the other SEC coaches, will have to face this new reality. What wild days ahead! And how has it been for Jalen Milroe? He hasn't hidden his excitement about the changes being implemented in Alabama's offense under the leadership of Kalen DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, and the rest of the coaching staff. In his second season as the starting quarterback for the Crimson Tide, Milroe seems more confident than ever, especially with how the new coaching staff is shaping the offense to maximize his abilities. This new offensive system might be a challenge, but for Milroe, this change has been a golden opportunity to tailor the game to his strengths. From spring through fall camp, the coaching staff has been working tirelessly to develop an offense that is not only effective but also resonates with Milroe's unique style. And it's this personalized approach that has most impressed the young quarterback. Milroe recently spoke about this process, highlighting that the ability to collaborate directly with the coaches and adjust the offense to his preferences has been the best thing so far. "We're just seeing some things I like frequently," he said. "But one thing is that we're not limiting the offense. We're opening up the entire playbook to what I want to execute. It's been incredible to have this opportunity." This flexibility in offensive planning has not only boosted Milroe's confidence but also solidified his role as the offensive leader. Milroe doesn't just feel that the offense is tailor-made for him, he also feels fully prepared to lead Alabama in its pursuit of another title in style. The 2023 season was a period of growth and learning for Milroe. With 2,834 passing yards, 23 touchdown passes, and an additional 12 rushing touchdowns, totaling 531 rushing yards, Milroe proved he's a dynamic quarterback capable of impacting the game both through the air and on the ground. This versatility is one of the factors that places him among the favorites for the Heisman Trophy in the upcoming season, and with the new offense being tailored to maximize his skills, expectations are only rising. The fact that the offense is being built around his strengths is a testament to the confidence that DeBoer and his staff have in Milroe. This isn't just a tactical shift, it's a sign that Alabama is willing to evolve and adapt its style of play to make the most of the talent they have. And for Milroe, this confidence is fuel to continue growing and leading the Tide with authority. As Alabama prepares for the 2024 season, all eyes will be on Milroe and how he executes this offense tailored to his needs. With an offense that not only plays to his strengths but also has his approval, Milroe is poised to have a spectacular year. Let's go, Milroe! The transfer of the linebacker, who previously played for the Alabama Crimson Tide, highlights how FSU is strengthening its position in the transfer market, seeking talents that can immediately contribute to the team. And let's be honest, Bama is a breeding ground for top-tier players. Murphy, who entered the NCAA transfer portal and quickly headed to FSU for a visit, seems to have found his new home in Tallahassee. This quick decision reflects both the attractiveness of the Seminoles program and Murphy's urgency to find an environment where he can stand out and get more playing time. The linebacker brings with him experience from one of the most competitive programs in the country. At Alabama, Murphy had the opportunity to learn and grow in a high-caliber environment, competing alongside some of the best talent in college football. Although his stats weren't spectacular, playing in just 5 games during his freshman season and recording 3 tackles the following year, his presence on special teams in crucial games like the SEC Championship and the Rose Bowl showcases his value and ability to contribute in critical situations. FSU not only added a talented player but also managed to convince DJ Lundy, a veteran linebacker, to stay with the program after considering a transfer to Colorado. Murphy is the 14th transfer to FSU this season and the 5th player to make the transition from Alabama to Tallahassee, joining other former Crimson Tide players like Roydell Williams, Malik Benson, Terrence Ferguson, and Earl Little II. This trend of former Alabama players choosing to continue their careers at FSU speaks volumes about the direction the program is taking under the leadership of Mike Norvell and his staff. I'm not sure if they made the right decision, but Bama has been getting some great guys here too. When Murphy initially signed with Alabama, he had offers from elite programs like LSU, Ohio State, and Penn State, which shows just how sought after he was as a prospect. Now, he brings that pedigree to FSU, where he'll look to establish himself as a dominant force in the Seminoles defense. For Alabama, losing Murphy represents another talented name choosing to seek opportunities elsewhere. While the Crimson Tide has incredible depth at almost every position, seeing a player with Murphy's potential leave is never easy. However, Alabama has a long tradition of developing talent, and it's likely that other players are ready to step up and fill the void left by Murphy. You can be sure that Coach DeBoer will take care of that. Dan Lanning, Oregon's head football coach, recently addressed the speculation that surfaced about the possibility of him replacing Nick Saban as Alabama's head coach following the legendary coach's retirement when that happened. Since Saban announced his departure, Lanning has been named by many as a top candidate to take over the coveted position in Tuscaloosa, given his reputation and success as Georgia's defensive coordinator and, more recently, as the head coach of the Ducks. However, Lanning made it clear that despite all the speculation, the idea of leaving Oregon to take on the Alabama job never crossed his mind. In an interview on the Paul Finebaum Show, Lanning was straightforward, stating, "That was never part of our thought process." He expressed great respect for Saban and the monumental work he did at Alabama, but emphasized that his focus has always been on Eugene and the challenges ahead at Oregon. And of course, Coach DeBoer was the one chosen. But continuing, Lanning's connection to Saban and Alabama's winning tradition certainly put him on the radar of speculators, but the Ducks head coach was quick to dismiss any idea that he was considering the move. In fact, while rumors were swirling that he was in Tuscaloosa for an interview, Lanning revealed that he was actually at home, relaxing with his family and watching a movie from the Jason Bourne franchise. "I'm confident that the choice of Coach DeBoer was the right one, and he should have a long tenure at Bama." I'd love to hear your thoughts too.